Alright, we're back for another rating climb in bullet chess on the Retrosynthon account. Last time we got up to 1300. We're going to see if we can get up to now 1400 again. Maybe we'll stick with 1+0. They're slightly faster games. We can get through this earlier part a little bit quicker. We can move up to the higher ratings. So let's jump right in. Lee Chess 1+0. Let's see what we get. Alright, first game against Holt 15. Dead on 1200. Alright, maybe we'll play a Queen's game this time. Start with D4 and Queen's Gambit. Let's challenge the center again. Now we're challenging for this key D5 square. It's a good move by Black. Pin the knight. Again, we're just fighting over the center. Black's doing fine. I quite like that move by Black. Maybe the capture isn't necessary, but this is all good. I think intermediate would have been maybe better to do that, but all in all, this looks fine for Black. This center pawn probably should be defended. Yeah, but just queen here. I cover all my pawns. I'm threatening to win this center pawn at some point. That's a good move. So what if I just offer a queen trade, and by doing so, defend my center? He could play something like queen back, which is interesting. Decided not to. Yep, I'm just going to finish my castle. Kingside. Black's doing fine here, though, honestly. I think this is very equal. Challenge for me is going to be developing. This looks like a good square for the knight, so I'm going to go knight. Ooh, he already gets through it. I'm going to do it anyway because I can actually prepare this move. Or I can first play c5, and then with the recapture, get there. That's an interesting idea. I'm okay with this. My bishop was pretty bad. It undoubles his pawns, but it allows me to get my bishop out of the game. We're going to go take. Bishop here, challenge for the center. Does give him a rook check. He's running a little bit low on time, though. This bishop's coming out. It's going to be pretty good. Ooh, he does get that. He probably should have captured the pawn with the rook. Maybe king up to defend the bishop. And if he doubles, ooh, that's not so great. Gives me time to double my rooks. I mean, good game by Holt. A lot of people have very high rapid and blitz ratings on this site, and then very low bullet ratings. So his game was very strong. He was a really good player, just maybe he was needing to play a little faster, but very strong play. Okay, Grossotnets. I don't know what that name is. 1305. All right. I play so much of this. We'll play the Sicilian. I'm not a Sicilian expert. I'm going to basically just make up what I do in the Sicilian. Maybe we'll go fianchetto on this side. This can't be bad, at least. This long diagonal looks strong to put a little pressure on his... I think I can do it. I think I can do it. It doesn't look poisoned or anything. Queen just comes over here to cover any funny business that might be happening. This long diagonal looks amazing. My dark square bishop's doing great. My light square bishop's needs to develop. I don't know where would be the best square. Honestly, maybe something like... So I think I'd have time to castle. Maybe bishop here, and after takes, I just control the center. I kind of like that. And then eventually push d5, but maybe first e5, then d5. Ooh, very nice move. I really like that move. Pin through the pawn. But I think now I have time to play something like king over, and then get the rook behind the pawn, and I'm doing okay. I have time to play d5 now. Break any of the pins. All my pieces are coming to life. He's got a great bishop, I will say. I mean, I could just take this. I don't see the idea here. And actually, there's maybe some nasty pins. He can't go as king. You can't do that. There was maybe a forced... No, it wasn't, because he could have gone back to win the queen. And now this pin is just devastating. Yeah, he just goes down. Very good game. Very good game. It's a pretty strong opponent. All right, let's just keep pushing. Let's get to 1400. Bass Lex. Okay. Here we're going to do another... I often will just avoid playing pawn moves immediately. Now we're going to go into an opening I find myself in quite a bit, although it's very painful for black to have to play. I think in this line you just castle. I don't remember. I think you can do this with the idea of pinning and then winning back the exchange. And actually, white needs to be careful because he can get himself into trouble here. I don't think he will. If he plays knight back there, I think everything gets defended. This just gives me, though, time to... Maybe I want to play a move like this, but no. I think right now I just want to get my pieces developed. Count myself lucky. Check. If he wants to block with the bishop, I'll probably just take it. Okay, my knight develops now. All my pieces develop. I kind of like maybe an idea of playing like pawn here, but maybe it's not necessary. I think I just developed last piece. I don't know why you would do this. You just kind of created your own pin, and I don't love that, but still, I have to find a way to take advantage of it. Maybe I just bump the knight. I was kind of angling to play bishop there. I'm giving him a pretty good square to run to. He didn't need to, and I'm just going to stay strong. Nothing too crazy. This isn't really a flight square. Maybe that's not the strongest. All right, why would you... Okay, I kind of want to take with the bishop. It's he can block with the knight, go back into the pin, but I feel like this has to be better for me. I give up the control of this square. Maybe I'll have to come back and defend it with something else. Bishop check I'm not scared of. He's playing this very well, honestly. I'm probably just going to beat him on time. I mean, that was a very strong game. Oops. Okay. 13:34. Okay. Another name I can't pronounce. 13:27. Let's see. We're going to play for the center again. Bump the knight back. Or queen goes all the way back. Interesting. This is it's definitely a line you can play in the Scandinavian, but I think for bullet chess, it's pretty non-committal. It's a pretty, defensive way of playing for black. So it definitely gives white the opportunity to push for the initiative. I'm just threatening to fracture his pawns and then sink a knight in the center. This is probably the right time to do it. Although I might... no, I will do this. Ooh. This is not the time to pre-move, unfortunately, for Tiago JS already. I think the only thing here is just there's no sense in rushing in with the queen. I need a few more pieces. We're going to get the rook over, then bring the queen in. Maybe even just start with a check. Force him to the side. Keep the pieces on the dark squares. Go for the mate. Now I'm attacking this pawn. There's pressure on these pawns. Yep, this with check. I mean, shoot. There's a lot of things you could do. I kind of like check first. Oh, I mean, I'm going to have to go back. And then maybe take the pawn. I'm threatening the knight. Then I can take this pawn. Okay, bishop takes. And then bishop here. Another pressure point. I think I can start with rook takes. And then queen takes knight. All right, good game. First game, have a rematch. Honestly, this opponent played very well. Let's do it. The first rematch of this run. Let's play for the center. White's playing well, and white's playing fast. Maybe I'll try and have to pick up the speed a little bit. Okay, recapture towards the center. I'm going to develop. This is a nice square for white. Would have definitely been unhappy to see a knight sink in there. He's giving me a pretty nice open file. Definitely going to go into trade all this business. Now angling up on this square, he doesn't protect it. So I can play bishop takes. And I think here I start with this. And then I actually just pick up the bishop. I think is better. He does have a queen check, and I think there's a few things to do here, but I think even just block with the rook looks fine. He doesn't really have time to try to win it like this. I think maybe I just take, because I don't like the idea of having to deal with, I don't know, some funny business later. Okay, take the pawn. He has queen takes here. Okay, now I go check. Now I just got to make sure not to mess this up. All right, rook checkmate. Good games. Okay, I think maybe one or two more and we'll get to 1400. Fork 'em. Fork 'em. Another e4, best by tests, push through, take the center. I'll often just challenge the dark square bishop here, and I don't love that black has to capture away from the center. Ooh, unfortunate. Maybe black meant to play queen h4. Too bad. Okay. We're going to go up now. Matrina 0406. Again, e4. King's Gambit. Love the King's Gambit. Although I don't play the most aggressive, bishop c5 line. I'll just develop the knight. Already here, you can take back the pawn, but there's usually a way to win it back in almost all circumstances. So there's really not a rush. You try to maybe catch. I think once though black plays this and is threatening to just create that nice defense. I think that's like Fischer's defense or something of the, or Fischer's reputation of the King's Gambit. So yeah, push this back. He'll probably give up his dark square bishop, or light square bishop, I mean. I'm going to play like this. It's a slightly weird move, but if black does decide to take, I'll recapture and give my rook something to play for. I don't want to take black's bishop because when you recapture, you just get a really nice center. If black has to trade in the corner, I think this will only be better for white. And down the road, in the King's Gambit, a lot of ideas here center around this rook being open. So once these pieces clear, that's a nice move. Oftentimes you have to reroute the knight. This gives you the opportunity to play c3, batten down the hatches. Black should be challenging the center here. That's probably not the most accurate move. I think I like the bishop here. It breaks the pin. I think more accurate maybe would have been challenging the center while I was a bit on the back foot. And here, there's a few ideas. Let's try to be a little fancy. Knight here. Oh, I miscalculated. Wow. Nice continuation. I miscalculated that there was that intermediate move. Challenging. Black picks up a pawn from that sequence. If we go back just a little bit, I had this in mind that black was going to have to move the queen because I was opening up this attack, but I totally missed that after knight takes, counterattacking or counterpunch to the queen. Really nice sequence. But black must have calculated this. Really, really nice. All right, it's a good game to end on. Nice play by Matrina here. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Try to get to 1500.